Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all our alumni friends all across the globe. Uh, this is a session we started as a entrepreneurship. The session we started as an entrepreneurship program within the within the IIST alumni network. And this is the inaugural session that we invited some of the stellar entrepreneurs and founders who are doing their work in their unique, very unique and stellar way. Let me introduce Arup Das, who is the 1988 ETC batch, and currently he is the CEO and co-founder of Insemi Technology, based out of Bangalore. He founded Insemi Technology way back in 2013, which offers expertise across end-to-end semiconductor design, electronic design, platform design, automation, embedded software technologies. Though none of this I understand, at least personally, but it must be, seemingly amazing work that Arup is doing. He is at an acquisition stage with Infosys that he will share as we go along. Then we have Shubroto Biswas, who is from a 2011 IT batch, and currently he is the co-founder and CEO of Simba.ai. And we'll know more from Shubroto what is the full form of Simba. Very interesting when I heard that. Simba.ai founded in 2023, the generative AI native platform, which gives enterprises the power to create custom AI agents. And we have been hearing about AI all across. So it will be extremely interesting to hear out what Shubhrata shares is. He's in the pre-seed funding, and he will share how much of fund he could raise during this stage. Then we have Abhro Kanti Saha, who is our the third panelist, 2015 CE batch, is a co-founder and CEO of Nirnayan Healthcare. Nirnayan Healthcare, founded in 2018, just before COVID, is a reference pathological laboratory chain having its headquarters in Kolkata. It gives the accurate patient reports in a minimum turnaround time possible using the most upgraded technology. And he will share his story, and I'm completely amazed to hear that they are the only one in the Eastern India who is providing this kind of, NAABL certified, accredited kind of taste, and sending reports globally. Stage and growth it started with a bootstrapped of 10 to 15 lakhs way back in 2018. Now, within the last 6 years, his market cap is around 150 crores. Still bootstrapped, and he is not looking at funds. So amazing story. We have got three entrepreneurs with three stages of their, of their company, which is one is at the stage of pre-seed, we have growth, and we have got acquisition stage. So amazing story, each one of them. We'll start with Arup. Arup, uh, when did you first realize your passion for entrepreneurship? And what motivated you to create Insemi Technology?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sanjada. And I really feel honored to be part of this event. And thank you all for joining, and whoever is listening or will be listening in future. Yeah, so thank you all. Yeah, so I got campus placed in Texas Instruments from college, and then I moved to Intel. And very few actually from the department really stayed in the VLSI or the core electronics. Most of them went to the softwares as usual. So yeah, so I actually wanted to be in chip design, and that is what my interest was. And then about I will say 5-6 years spending in industry, actually what I realized that in India, whatever the captive centers, like for example Texas Instruments India or Intel India, what they are really doing, they're actually doing a design services for their headquarters. Okay, so that time they were not really having the kind of ownership here, so they used to do. So that was kind of a thought came in my mind that if they are doing the design services, they are not really a product company here. They are maybe a product company there. So that gave me a thought that, okay, why can't I start a design services and directly work with their headquarters or maybe locally with these people as well. So in 2008 to 2010 timeframe, actually, I started doing the brainstorming. I actually got engaged with some of our seniors who are in this field, as well as some of the, I will say, the influential Bengalis who are in this domain, and also got engaged with the West Bengal government. But I will say, unfortunately, the first recession came in 2009 timeframe, 8-9 timeframe, followed by there is a government shift in West Bengal. So I really took a step back and said, okay, I will rather wait for my right time. So I did not really give up. I actually, whatever I have learned, I decided to again start in 2013. But that time I actually started in Bangalore. And what I understood is to really scale up, we need to start with the training as well as the some kind of a solutions design services. So that's exactly I started with. I started with the IoT product development, which actually helped me to get vendorships, plus uh, the kind of training which actually gave me the kind of ability to create talents. And since then till now, we have grown quite bold. We are like 1,500 people right now, and we are one of the largest player, and we are the only player in the world who are providing end-to-end design services. Most of the cases, the design services offered by the competitions are specific to certain domain, either digital, analog, front end, back end. But we do end-to-end, not just limited to the chip design, also the associated embedded as well as the software.
Super. Amazing. I guess you pivoted, right? So you pivoted your career, you pivoted the founding, the company, and everything got pivoted. Super. I'll go to with that. I'll go to Abro. So Abro, you started with with a very 13 lakhs and 200 square feet, right? That's what I heard when I spoke to you. Uh, 13 lakhs and 200 square feet. And where are you now?
Uh, Good evening and good morning to everyone, my seniors, my juniors as well. Thank you for taking me as a part of this event. And for my journey, I have started this company on 2018, and it was a very different kind of thing. I was graduated from Shibpur on 2015, and then I joined M Restaurant Company for 2.5 years. Then I got into MDI for my management studies. But after 2.5 months of study and before the trimester, I just left the institute and started to think something different, because from very when I was very young, then I thought that I have to do something new. So after coming back from my MBA college, I was thinking, me on and my brother as well, my elder, we were thinking we have to start something new, something new. So we are thinking, let's start a hotel chain, restaurant chain, cafe chain, whatever. But from a family background, I can say my father is a doctor, my grandfather is a doctor, renowned doctor. But my father told me, because in India, or maybe mostly in West Bengal or Eastern India, I can say that healthcare is very much neglected. Because I've seen many cases, like whenever I go to South India or somewhere like other parts of the India, they don't believe on the reports of generated from the eastern part of the India. So I thought, my father has told me, let's start something which can benefit the people from Eastern India part as well. So we started Ninayan on 2018, 18 June, and it was a 200 square feet lab. And we started with very minimum funding, because whatever we had at that time, That was very like 12 to 13 lakhs rupees, and that was funded by us only. And then as the time grows, market traction generated, people acceptance generated, everything is generated, because our most main important USP was, in fact, right now is the pricing, TAT, and the quality. So these three is the very important thing for healthcare segment, because you are dealing with the people and people health. So it is not like a other kind of business that you can compromise with. So then we started, and right now it's renamed. Right now is 20,000, more than 20,000 square feet lab and state of art laboratory, having all the cutting edge technologies currently available in this world. We are mostly in specialty segment like genomics, oncogenomics, genetics, microarray, and all these things. So right now we have reached, we are catering more than 4,000 patients per day. And
Wow.
right now we have, from the quality point of view, we have accredited by NABL more than 500 parameters in our scope list. In Eastern India, that is the fastest NABL accredited lab that we got NABL on 2018 end. So after
Okay.
6 months of inception, we got that accreditation. Right now,
Hmm.
we have the most, we have the huge range of parameter like 450, more than 450 plus parameters in our scope. So currently,
Super.
market cap, as I said, is
Yeah.
more than 150 CR.
Right. Oh, with a mere 200 square feet to 20,000 square feet, right? So that's a story. And when you say this reference pathological category, so this is all of
Yes,
this genomics and genetics,
right.
and which are not
Yes,
generally being done by the path labs and
yes,
the
right,
SRLs of the
right.
world.
Yes, because reference pathological segment is a, because there is a two types of diagnostics. Like one is
Right.
radiology and second one is pathology. So
Pathology. Right.
pathology samples can be transported from any part of the globe, from any other part.
Right.
So that's why we have started excluding the radiology part, and we have started the pathological segment. And
Okay.
the reference lab is the standalone diagnostics hospital who don't have
Hospital.
that much of specialty
Right.
equipment. They send the sample
Equipments.
to us.
Right.
Yeah. So we are mostly we belongs to the Lal Patlas SRL diagnostics in that segment.
Okay, amazing, amazing. So with that amazing 200 to 20,000, I'll move to Shubroto. So Shubroto, you also have the what I understood is from your early days, you started with that passion of entrepreneurship. And today, I guess you are realizing it after one pivot. That's what I thought, right? So why don't you share how you started and what your passion, how you followed your passion? That's very important, I guess, how you follow your passion.
Yeah, thanks, Sanjay, and thank you all for hosting me. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. So it's all started like I think after I start my college, the seed of entrepreneurship probably was planted by my dad, and then with EDCell and the GAABESU program that Shapan was mentioning, those
Oh,
all kind of led to that journey, right? So, and I think I was talking to you, Sanjay. There's a talk that I attended. So we kind of started a small like social entrepreneurship venture while I was at Shibpur with my juniors, and that got selected one of the top 30 student startup in by NEN, it's a National Entrepreneurship Network. There's a lot of entrepreneurs we got to meet there, and there they mentioned one thing that
mm,
entrepreneurship is like a cancer. If it is
mm,
planted once in your mind, it will never go away.
yeah.
So that's kind of an inception that is started. Then I moved to US to work for Microsoft and then Airbnb, and always kind of looking for a pain points that we can solve, right? And that's kind of what started with Simba. So I was leading multiple AI and data initiatives there in the Airbnb, and I noticed that the lot of processes that we follow to get value out of data is not optimal, and he wanted to build something to solve these pain points, and that's kind of a motivation behind Simba. So I think Simba stands for like the contextualized insights make business action. So if you
Mm,
for look at the industry, we have tons of data in most of the companies. We are spending millions or billions rather on harvesting data. But the value or ROI out of the data is not good enough. People are still kind of stuck into the BI tools or dashboard or basic visualizations for last 20 years, right? We wanted to basically break that barrier. So kind of taking the industry to a new direction where AI can actually like get the value out of data, and kind of companies can have something like their own Jarvis. So that's kind of a vision behind Simba. Jarvis, some of you probably know, it's the assistant of Iron Man, who can basically tell you, hey, what's going on in the system, and also kind of recommend, you know what, you should probably do XYZ. And then it can also take action that, okay, do XYZ. So that's kind of a inspiration, one of the inspiration of Simba,
Wow.
how can I build a platform in the long run. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we started last year.
Yeah.
We still small. We just finished building our first version of the product, and we are kind of rolling out to the market.
Okay. So you already have some customers as you roll out?
Yeah, we are lucky to have like multiple great design partners that we called them earlier, who kind of helped us build the product.
Hmm.
And now we are basically like scaling it out to more mid to large enterprises.
Oh, okay. Cool. Excellent. And what is the full form of Simba?
Yeah, so Simba is like contextualize insights, make business action. So if you look at the world, like we need insights, but just insight by itself will not work. You need to know the context, right? And eventually the insight by itself is not adding any value to the business unless you take some business action, right? So that's kind of
Right.
acronym and as well as our mission of the company.
Very well defined.
Mhm.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. With that data, we move to Arup. So Arup, I understand that you have grown and scaled to almost like 1,500 people strong company today, right? And
Yeah.
what amazes me is how do you keep this large strength of people motivated and keep, attached to Insem? Why don't you share what motivates them? Because, as entrepreneurs, I guess churn of people is the biggest challenge that everybody faces, right? The people keep on churning because they get more and newer opportunities. How do you do it?
Yeah. So yeah, that is the problem I had to deal with to scale up. Typically, what happen is the attrition in industry happen in percentage. Like for example, product company will
Mm,
have in a good time, maybe it can go up. Good time means when the job offers are there everywhere.
yeah.
So there it can go up to maybe 20%, product companies I'm talking about.
Mm,
And the same number for the services industry can go to 35 to 40%.
mm,
So what actually it mean that, like for example, in 1,000 people organization, we'll have a 400 people will be leaving, right?
mm,
So, but hiring 400 or replacing them is actually not very easy.
yeah. Yeah.
So what actually I want to tell is the more we grow, the
Mm,
attrition happen in percentage, but all the time the talent acquisition happen in actual number. It does not happen in percentage, right?
mm,
So the more we grow, the problem actually becomes bigger because you'll be losing more people. So that is why in design services, specifically in the chip design, is where the scarcity of the talented resources are there. It's not like software that we can actually train them and have a kind of a university inside, and then we will
mm,
be able to create our own, right? That's not like that, because here the tools and everything is very costly. On top of it, you need to have the technology access for TSMC or the Samsung, or Intel. So you need to have those kind of collaborations, and you need to have the right designs to even train them.
mm,
And also you need to find the people. Like as I was telling, I mean, in my time, like 25 years back, that time only 5 out of 40 people, okay, actually continued in this journey. So remaining actually went to the other domains. So it actually becomes very tiny pool. So it becomes impossible to do a lateral hiring and really manage the attrition. So what actually we have done, that is why we have done, is started with the training itself. We have not started our journey with uh, hiring the senior people. We
right.
actually started with training. And 2013 to 2016, that 3 years, we have actually created a lot of talents in the junior talents. And in parallel, we started hiring the seniors.
Genius.
And uh, that journey actually continued with us.
And help.
Yes, we lose many people,
Yeah.
but at the same point of time, we actually add a lot more people
Lot more
to
people.
our through our fresher hiring and training.
Right.
So yeah, we try to do everything, like try to do, like for example, making the benefits or the
Right.
salaries as
Right.
per with the product companies,
Right.
and keeping the process, everything is transparent. But at the same point of time, people will leave, even somebody gives
They
maybe
will.
little more,
Yeah.
they will leave. So it's, so we can actually definitely contain little bit,
Yeah.
but we will not be able to avoid completely.
Avoid
Yeah.
completely. Absolutely. And I guess with Shubroto hearing, Shubroto, you are, so the entire concept what Arup is saying is as a, as a company which has seen and matured, now you are going into that stage wherein do you also see a similar challenge in your, because you are relatively, new and hiring also, right? Do you find
I
that, and
think
AI is hot, right?
Yeah, I think Arvada mentioned this pretty interesting way that the attrition happened in percentage, the hiding in the numbers. I'll
Yeah.
keep this in mind. So I think for product companies, like the kind of tech that we are building, we are a little different compared to like the most services company. Like we usually have a like very high like kind of hiding bar that we put in whenever
Mm,
hire
mm,
anyone,
mm.
and usually we put very lower in numbers, and we just make sure that people who are working for the company, they're really passionate about the mission and they're really excited about the work, so they can put
Yeah.
hours and get this right.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
attrition,
guess the startup in the startup world, I guess the inspiration and the, looking forward to do something different and make that product available is, I guess, the passion. That's what sticks the
exactly,
company.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
the bar is also pretty high. So I
yeah.
think we for startup, like I think out of the higher scale, for our case, like each and every employee is very critical, and we don't have that luxury to keep a cushion of attrition that, oh, we'll hire 20% more because that does not happen that way for at least for our.
Investors will cry at you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like company survival, right? So each
yeah,
person in a startup is critical
critical.
resource.
Yeah,
And if you're
absolutely.
working for any startup and thinking that you are just wasting and growing, that means you're not in the right place,
Right,
right?
Liz, absolutely. But Abro, I seen your corporate video, and I guess we should share that corporate video. I will share it with the entire audience. It's a video, I guess, it showed your facility, it showed your entire, team and all. So Arup and Subrato, Abro has a team which is so varied, if you look at, right? It's so varied. So Abra, how do you manage to keep that varied team, right? You have doctors, you have technicians, you have admin staff. So how do you keep and run this?
Because at very first, at when we started, we have experienced many kind of challenges like hiring of people, good resources, because at that time we didn't have that much credibility, right? That is the main problem that we everyone have in the at the very first time for every entrepreneurs. So this segment of healthcare, you require a huge team of different background. So starting from the doctors, so you need to have a experienced doctors to generate all the reports and validate all the reports, and technicians who are trained, proficient for their work, as well as we need to have the admin staff as well, because every company needs
Yes,
to have those admin staff. That is very normal. It's quite not
correct.
natural. But the problem that we had faced at the very beginning, that is a doctor, because we
Doctors.
didn't have that credibility. So doctor refused to join our company at the very first time. But as time grows, grows, and we had acquired that credibility, and right now we have a team of almost 18 doctors. Currently, we are working with, and there are more than 300 plus technicians and other staff, logistics management, everything, because we have to keep our sample integrity, because that is reaching to our lab and get tested. So logistics management is a very important thing. We have
Yeah,
to control the temperature as well.
yeah.
So everything, right now we are currently more than having 350 plus employees in our panel.
Okay, super. Yeah, so that's what, I found it to be interesting that you have got a varied, diverse talent that you have to acquire and
Yes.
keep them motivated to grow.
Currently we are hiring from different IMs as well, different science institute for science graduate, like in St. Xavier's, Jadavpur, in different IMs, different. We are recently we have hired one people for operation management in IMT Ghaziabad. So we are
Okay,
have
super.
that traction. So yeah.
Good. So you think, Simba, that your AI agent would be starting to generate reports for Obro in future?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the vision. If you have data and you want to do anything with the data, like Over might
Uh,
ask like, hey, which doctor is like kind of slacking for last 10 days, right?
Right,
And who is
right,
performing well and why they're performing well. Like those kind of
right,
things is like our
right,
vision that
right.
you will get it instantly.
and how about the medical report generation? Because he's getting the data out. And I know that, Obro, you said as part of the report, you also, share a possible diagnostic view, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
currently
Digital
you do
report,
it with the
digital.
doctor. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, digital
right.
report. Just we are yet to launch the digital report part. That is
Digital
not
report.
been launched by any other companies currently.
Yeah.
But for our case, we are catering to more than 4,000 patients per day. So we are generating more than 10,000, 15,000 reports per day. So
Wow.
that is a big challenge for us, because you have to validate all the reports and has to be delivered to the client on time. So you
On
have
time.
only 4 hours in your hand to generate all the reports. So that is
Super.
very crucial. So for that part, we have implemented recently the auto verification, and currently we have reached almost 80% of the report that is being generated from our laboratories is auto approved from
Okay.
doctors.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
a huge amount of load have to cater.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Interesting. I guess Simba would be, who knows? So I was, looking at sales. So somebody reached out to me and said that you are hiring, the SDRs, right, or the BDRs, business development representative. You can start hiring now an AI SDR and a BDR who would actually do, some 100 times job than what your current SDR and BDR. Uh, so I don't know where AI is taking, and Subrato is one of them. So Subrato, how you see this AI transforming what all industries, and how do you visualize this, and how this, and where is the really, I was attending one of the industry event, and one question that came up again and again is AI and Gen AI is underhyped? Is it really actually hyped, or it is overhyped, and where it is going? So what is your view, Subrata?
Mm. So first of all, AI is not a hype. It's a real thing that's happening. So think of it as big of a change as it was a computer invention or internet invention. It is that big. Now, there are some people are making it overhyped, or kind of it's triggering the fight or flight response to people's mind. Often they think about AI is about replacing people. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't believe entirely
that's
on
not.
this.
Yeah,
So I believe it's a replacement of some boring works that people are doing, right?
repeatable works.
Exactly. So think of like the way before computer was there, right? Everyone's scared, like even in the West Bengal, they prevented computer to come in, right? But then what happened in the end, right? It created massive number of opportunity or job, right? So even if you think at the world now, all the jobs that we are doing, right? Software engineer, data scientist, data analyst, those jobs are non-existent 20 years back, right? It was created.
Right.
I think similar thing is gonna happen now. So the jobs that you see now versus the jobs gonna be like 20 years from now will be very different. And people should like AI should be adopted as part of that, like the way you use computer, right? Uh,
Right.
I don't believe like AI is in a position that can basically replace all the BDR, SDR entirely,
It will
but
not.
it can make them 10x, 20x more efficient.
Yeah, more efficient. I also agree. So, Arup, what is your view of and how you see your company being influenced, affected, taking steps, moving in that direction in the semiconductor industry?
Yeah, I completely agree with what Subrata said. It's AI is nothing but automation, and I do not see that this is going to really, I will say, change in a wrong way. Yes, definitely, every industry deserve to have substandard personnel. I think those definitely will be impacted, and they're supposed to be impacted in any way. Okay, so it's definitely going to make things, I will say, very efficient. And AI is going to be in every part of our life. It's going to be in the program management. It's going to be in the resource management. It's going to be in the HR, finance, everywhere it's going to come, and it's going to impact every industry. Now coming to the chip design, um, so I will say the AI, if you look at the kind of NVIDIA type of companies who are our client as well, we work for them on AI chip designs. Um, so if you look at those companies were really nothing maybe 20 years back, and how they have come up. So many small startups are coming up doing AI, and they're building their own chips. So we are actually working with them and doing their end-to-end project, because they cannot afford to have the entire army. So we have like that, three of such clients are there, who are doing the AI chips, and they completely outsource to us, and we do it in ODC for them. So in chip design, definitely in again some areas the AI is going to come, but there is little bit of, I will say, data privacy concerns are there. Because of that, it will not be so effective as it is in the software field, because like for example, it needs a lot of data sets to really make it learn and become effective. But and this only the EDA companies like Synopsys, Cadence, Siemens, or Mentor, they only need to have access to this data to train their algorithms to do the AI, perform AI on the next project, right? But if you look at it, all these product companies, like whether it's an NVIDIA or Intel, Qualcomm, Samsung, they will not allow to really access their data and their competition to learn from it. So the scope becomes very limited when it comes to the chip design, because of the IP concerns. So that is what is the challenge. That is where you will see in the chip design. I will not be surprised if this is the last industry where the
where
AI
it will come in.
come in, because everybody will say no to AI because of the fear that their data is getting stolen silently, right? So that's, and which is their bread and butter anyway, right? So they really don't want the tool to do the job what they are doing. Like for example, then today there is an NVIDIA, that then just by using the tool there can be hundreds of NVIDIAs coming up, right?
Absolutely.
So that's actually that's why it's actually it is, I will say, the scope is going to be limited. And yes, in general, how the industry is going to transform because of AI, our industry is also going to go through the same. And I'll give
I
a very
guess
basic,
I guess most industries are, and as you said, as you started with, right? It will start making efficient more. Efficiency will come in. Repeatable jobs, efficiency will come in, and people will be put to better use versus that whole scare of people going out. That will never happen.
Yeah. So I'll just give an example, basic example. Like we have our own ERP system, which we have built from scratch using React and Python. So now we are incorporating AI into it, so that like all our reportings becomes completely automated. Like for example, leave or the kind of time sets and everything, which actually becomes completely automated, and the report generation. So the scope of errors are going to be less, which in I will say in one word you can say that this actually making us more effective and optimized as a company.
Absolutely. I guess Simba, you have a have a probable customer in this forum. I'm not going to
Definitely,
name.
definitely.
I'm not going to name,
I'm
but I'm saying maybe
no,
two
no. I would
customers.
definitely
I
like
don't
to
know.
collaborate. I mean, this is I mean, this is really great thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, Arup, with that, you are in the MOU stage of acquisition, right? So everybody
Right.
would be interested to know how that, how you made it possible, and you're feeling achieved and successful with Insemi now. So congratulations on that part. And can you share quickly what made that, the deal crack for you?
Yeah. So yeah. So thank you. So first of all, I mean, I also started like Subrata and Obro. Like I also started with some 15, 16 lakhs in 2013, and that is the time I started from my home, and then moved to a small apartment, and then moved to a I will say a tech park. And right now we have close to 50,000 square feet of office in Bangalore, Noida, and Hyderabad. Um, so we have actually grown, I will say, predictably, and because of our transparency process and the kind of the value we add for the customers. And that actually that actually helped us to really get the noticed by the buyers, right? So because they are seeing that okay, most of the competitions are getting stuck in 400, 500, 600,000 maximum, but nobody actually just going predictably.
Killed.
Even during COVID time till now, almost like 650 to 1,500 we have come, right? And we keep growing. I mean, the industry is slowness, but we have never stopped, because what we try to do is we try to diversify the geolocations, even the domains. You can see, like, not just limited to the chip design, we also the related areas of the embedded IoT, as well as the application side, even on the machine learning side. We try to create a kind of a portfolio. So that actually helped us to really make sure that predictably we can grow. So then in 2016, when we started on the design services, I will say full-fledged. At that time we had some um, we investors. We got some investors, and that is also like almost 8 years back, if we talk right now. So it has the time has come for us to give them the return. Yeah, I mean, we could have waited for the IPO or those kind of things, because
Yeah.
now semiconductor is a budge. Yeah, so we could have waited for it, but again, if you look at it, last 2 years industry was really kind of a slowed down, and that is the time some of the investors were a little concerned that okay, whether their money is safe or not. So we said okay, we will have a plan A, going for an acquisition, and plan B going for an IPO. Okay.
Okay.
So that is, we actually worked in parallel with both of them, and we said okay, whatever happens, we'll go with that.
Okay. Super. And you have closed the MAU, and this quarter, by end of this quarter, uh, that will get, that's what I understood.
Yeah, so actually maybe by end of this month the
Acha.
closure is going to happen. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Super. So with that, moving to Shubroto, so you are in the pre-seed stage, right? And in terms of the raising the fund, what helped you to raise this pre-seed? What critical, I mean, the top two things you did in order to raise this fund
Yeah.
from a product team, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, so we raised the fund, I think, last year. So like before I started working full time. So basically, there are a couple of things required if you want to raise funds. Like first of all, you have to find a pain points or the solution that will be a venture skill. So often, like not a lot of all the companies require funds, to be honest, right? So if you're starting a business, perfectly fine with a small fund, it is not required at all.
Yeah.
Whenever you want to build something at venture scale, by venture scale, I mean that you are addressing around 10 billion market, like TAM. And that is the kind of a market you have to first choose, like what are the pain points you're going to solve. It's very important that the problem is actually a pain, not a vitamin, right? An investor look at that. So whether how deeply you understand that pain, right? So if basically I was coming from, as I mentioned, I was building multiple AI and data products at Airbnb. Airbnb is highly reputed in at least in the venture world,
Yeah.
and I had a direct impact in its Airbnb's data strategy. So that kind of helped me there. So we kind of identified the pain, and investor understood that, okay, we are the right team to solve these pain points. And my co-founder is a good friend of mine. He is coming from Stanford and first AWS AI. All these kind of things helped us to basically like pitching to the investors, right? Then they look for what kind of traction you have made, right? Are you just building in your mind, or you're actually talking to the right people, right? Your
Yeah,
customers who are willing to
yeah,
pay for it, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, and those are the few things they looked at it. They looked at the team and who are the other people who are waiting for you, right? And
Okay,
then it basically become a chain reaction. If you
right,
are going to get buy-in from one investor, and then they basically vouch for you for others, right? And these investors are very much connected with each other. Everyone
right,
knows what they are doing and others, right?
right.
So yeah, that's the way it happened. So I think that's for summarization, like finding the right pain points,
Pain
and,
point,
and you are the right team or person to solve
team,
that pain points.
right,
Then like your approach and vision, execute,
traction.
like traction is like coming in the right way.
Yeah. So you need a painkiller and not a vitamin.
Yeah.
And you need the team, the right team, and the right traction. I guess those are the three, according to you, are the key, right? In order to make in order to get started. Yeah, because there will be a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs and who are listening or will listen to this. So very important. So what are the other things? I know Abru had bootstrapped, as Subrata you are saying. So he's a completely bootstrapped company and till date it doesn't require fund. So according to you, so what makes this bootstrapped companies successful, Bro?
According to me, as Shubhutada said, like at very first you need a concept, and you have to identify the pain point of the
Pain
customer as
point.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had identified the customer pain point at that time, and currently as well as in India, people don't get proper timely report as well as proper accurate report, because a healthcare industry, as I can say, is very much corrupted. So people need a good timely solution. So from that beginning, we had started with 13-14 lakhs rupees, and as market traction generated, and whatever revenue we had generated at that time, as well as currently whatever we are generating, we are investing that for the growth. And currently we are setting up our new different processing labs at different part of this country. So we have a plan, within 2030 we will make more than 50 plus processing lab across the country, as well
Wow.
as some parts of the globe. So we many VCs are approaching to us for funding, but currently we are not into that part. But we will surely will take some fund for massive marketing, as well as, because we will have fund only the for the massive growth or massive marketing cash burn kind of thing. So
Okay.
for our growth, we don't need at this time we don't need fund.
Oh, amazing. I guess many in the audience would actually be interested in order to know, how to create a bootstrapped company. So for Arup, what do you think, apart from, you need to have a painkiller, right? You need to have the right team, and you need to have really attraction. Apart from these three, what do you think are the other ingredients to make a great company?
Yeah, so entrepreneurship, I mean, for me, I mean, it's actually is a combination of maybe hundreds of different features. It's not,
Elements, yeah.
and yeah, so it is not about, okay, I will say, okay, I'm risk-taking ability or confidence or knowledge, this, that, experience. You can add up like hundreds of things are there.
Right.
Sales. I mean, if you look at it, everyone has every element. Someone has less, someone has more. I mean, it's a kind of a combinations everybody has. Okay, but still everyone uh, not really able to start,
Mm.
and most of everybody having a starting problem. that is
Mm.
that is what I say. And specifically I will say that once, like for example, Subrato and Obro, they started early in their career. I mean, I also, like, if you look at it, after 10 years I started try to start it, and then I got addicted to it as yeah. So as you were saying, right? So then,
Yeah.
so if you look at it, after 10 years specifically in industry,
Mm-hmm.
what happen is you get into kind of a middle age, and then you have a middle age crisis, right? So middle age crisis in the sense you will think, oh, I have a family, I have a kid, I
Yeah.
should take a
Yeah.
really safe steps. Okay, I
Safer.
should not be taking risk and all, right? And kind of we get into kind of a hallucination or an illusion, and where we
Mm.
say, okay, I this is what I'm doing is the best. I am born for doing this, right?
Yeah.
So so the point is we actually need to get started as early as possible, where you do not have a lot of liabilities, lot of
Okay.
responsibilities. So even
Okay.
if you fail, okay, I mean, so-called fail, I mean, you learn, right? And again, take small steps. So
Right.
I mean, to make, if I will say, fail multiple times, but do not invest too much of money. Typically, if you think, okay, I will invest too much of money, and definitely you will not get a second chance. Okay, so you have to do small steps
Yeah.
and try
Like
to
we
do some.
say in entrepreneurship, fail fast, right? So you
Exactly,
fail
fail
fast
fast.
and
Exactly.
yeah.
Right, right. Like for example, in a similarly in a stock market also, if you have to enter the stock market and
Yeah.
learn
Yeah.
about trading,
Yeah.
if you say, okay, I wanted to put a lot of money and then lose, then you are never going to go back to stock market. So you have to
Correct.
put small amount of money, and
Right.
this is again the same risk taking. I mean, say that there's a lot of people, if you see, most of the people actually
Yeah.
trade
Yeah.
and invest in stock market, and
Super.
that is something I will say is a lot more riskier than entrepreneurship. Okay, because you are investing money on somebody else. Okay,
Right.
here you are investing money on yourself. Okay,
Right. Right. Right.
so
Sure.
so that is why if you see the stock market is much more riskier than entrepreneurship. That's
Right.
that's
Right.
the
Right.
way actually I wanted to say. If
Right.
anybody is investing in stock market, I will say think twice. Okay, you already an investor. Okay, you can you can actually create or start your own company where you invest.
You
Okay,
invest.
if you are
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
entrepreneur, you are the investors, like Obro is saying, and Subrata was saying, like, so then definitely miracle is going to happen,
Miraculous.
right?
Right. Right. Absolutely. I guess
Because
that's
investors
interesting.
believe in you, right? Investors
Yeah.
believe in
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Correct, exactly. So,
Point.
the team, I mean, they invest in the team. Obviously, idea, market traction, everything is important, but yeah, team is the, I guess, the more critical the elements. With that, as you said, Arup, that start early, right? And we have started getting questions from our second year and third year students. And so I will start with few questions. I guess we are not made, not left with too much of time. We can speak, and I was speaking to each one of them. I guess I spent at least 1 hour with each one of you, right? And the story never ended, right? We wanted to go through, but let me, pick up some of the questions that we have. I guess this question maybe for Shubroto. So, Shubroto, AI is very dynamic landscape. How do you gather insights, analyze data, and adapt your strategies to meet the evolving needs of potential users? As a CEO, what role do you play in shaping this understanding?
So I think the most important part is like you have to be very close to the market and close to the customer, right?
Okay.
So I think one thing that you mentioned, Sanjay, is like the AI is hype or not.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I really don't think it that way. I start to think about the pain points, like what you are solving first, what kind of value you are generating. And AI
yeah.
is the solution, right? How you will
AI solution.
incorporate that. And then you'll see like whether your platform is suitable for that solution or something else, right?
Correct.
I think AI, that's the one thing. Like first, try to be get close to customer as possible.
That's
Don't
customer.
just go in hyped and build something in your mind and work on that, right?
Right,
It'll definitely gonna fail.
right.
So, and I always like, I think the good part about like the ecosystem that I was part of here in Seattle or in general, like the Bay Area,
Mm, mm,
where the actual work is happening, right?
mm. Okay.
So, and you're always plugged into that. So one thing that I'd recommend is you write, there are multiple newsletters that happen that basically keep publishing different AI projects or funding announcements,
Mm,
and follow LinkedIn. So I use LinkedIn a lot to get more information, spread more like information as well,
mm.
um, and just try to process those and see what the industry is going after. And again, like don't
Sure.
go for AI just for sake of doing, right? First, try to
Yeah,
find
yeah.
pain points that you're trying to solve. And AI may or may not be the right tool. One thing I'd like to mention in this context, like this week, I attended one of the event, Data Universe in New York City. Um, you'll see like when last year, ChatGPT happened, all the companies kind of jumped into it and start building their AI chatbot, right?
Mm,
PwC
mm,
AI
mm,
or all
mm,
this like blah blah AI, right? And
mm,
we already started seeing a trend where they're shutting down all those like
mm.
projects because people got overhyped and they started building something without
Uh,
seeing how it is going.
True, true, true. AI
And
is a solution. AI is a solution, as you correctly said, versus AI is the thing, right? So, absolutely. I guess painkiller is not going, Shubhrodo, anywhere, right? So, you have to really use
fundamentals
the
should be
painkiller.
there. And
Yeah,
yeah.
true. I have a next question, which is from third year. Uh, it says Nitish Kumar. So Nitish, you are saying, sir, I am a third year student. Can a third year student get funding? And you have a good idea. What is the chance? What should I start work on my idea? When should I start work on this idea? I guess, there's a panelist, anyone you can answer to Nitish.
Yeah, I would like to answer here. Yeah, so
Yes,
Nitesh, so definitely, if your idea is good, so you need to really work on the business plan. Okay, it is not about typically what happen is we start working on the solution, but that is not the way business work. And in industry also, I have noticed if you give a problem to one engineer, first thing they will do is open the editor and then start coding. Okay, that is not the way things work. Okay, because there has to be a lot of planning and has to make sure that there is a process in place for the qualification, packaging, everything, right? So make sure, and the kind of user testing and user acceptance. So
sure.
it has to go through everything. It is not just about building a school or hobby project.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
yeah, if you need help, I would love to really share my thoughts.
Super.
And yeah, I mean, if any of you are having any kind of a doubt about that, okay, whether this
How to
idea
get
is going to work or
started?
not,
Yeah,
yeah, or maybe funding, I
yeah.
can help. I personally can help.
Wow.
So my point is that do not just get started. Okay, there has to be a some market research. Okay,
Yeah.
otherwise you are going to waste your time, and then it's going to bring a disappointment, and then you will say, okay, entrepreneurship is a risk. No, it's not a risk.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I guess this is a great Arup, what you just said. Absolutely, and I'll continue to stick to that painkiller to be the initiate, to get that started. And your offer for mentorship and other areas is amazing. And as an entrepreneurship, the special interest group which we created is exactly this for this. There are so many students, there are so many young entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs, in their 40s, late, whatever. They are, looking for this kind of mentorship, and even in some cases funds, resources, time. So I guess amazing. We should
Yeah,
be able to and please reach out to Arup, us, so we'll create all of them, and share those information more. There is a question for Apro. Who is the end customer? Doctors or patients or both? Could you please clarify that the final product is like and describe the key stages involved in delivering this product? I guess this is a big, it can be a big response. Aishwarya, what we'll do is we'll ask, request Apro to quickly respond in a minute or so, and then take the remaining questions to answer or respond back to you offline. So I will respond back to you, Aishwarya, offline after I hear from Apro. So Apro, who is your end customer, and the remaining we can respond offline.
So for our segment, as I've said, that it is a reference pathology. So our end customer is, it may be doctors, it may be direct patient, it may be the hospital diagnostics, because we collect the samples from different hospital diagnostics as well as from direct patients and freelancer as well. So our direct customer may be hospital, everyone. So we collect samples from them and we test all those samples and get those reported to them. So they print all those reports on their pages and they supply to the their customer end customer. So for us, all everyone is our end customer.
Yeah, so I guess what you said is currently you have the B2B segment, right? So your
Yes, yes,
hospitals and other
yes,
labs and all of
yes,
them are
yes,
your, and you're
yes.
slowly moving to B2C
Moving,
segment.
we are, yes, we are launching our B2C segment on this year, maybe after a couple of months,
Hmm,
and we'll move into B2C as well. So currently in B2B segment, the profitability as well as the everything is very less because there are some percentage that you can understand. So in B2C segment, that is a different thing, and we will move into that. We'll move into different segment as well. We will
right,
diversify as well.
right.
So currently, the same.
Okay, excellent. I guess, Ashajal, your second part of the question, final product is like, I guess this is a pathology lab, but once you move to the B2C segment of Pro, can we say now you will be like Lal Paths and SRLs of the world on
Yes.
steroid?
Uh,
Because now you'll be doing much, much more than they are doing.
Yes, because Lalpath Labs and SRL Diagnostic, they are in both segment because they are in B2B and as well as in B2C.
B2C. Okay.
So yes, but as I've said, we are not into any kind of funding. So whatever we have generated the profit and we have invested for the machines and everything. So in this area, this is very much I can say the asset heavy industry. So every instrument is very costly. So more
That's
than
good.
1 CR and so like that.
Sure.
So currently we have almost 50 CR, more than 50 CR as an asset.
Okay.
So we have generated all those things,
That
but
is a great
currently,
story.
yes. So currently not, we are not into B2C mode, but we will move into that
Move into it. Sure.
because we were making our infrastructure ready to get into the warfront.
Sure, absolutely. I guess that makes sense. So we have another question from Kundan Raj and saying, Sir, I'm a second year student, and how can we identify our idea and have right potential? And how can we get funding like seed and series funding? What are the things should highlight when you are go for funding? I guess this is similar question being asked by Nitesh earlier. But if anyone wants to quickly take that,
I can
uh,
take that one.
yeah, go ahead.
So if you're second year, I would say like focused on like just learning the things really well, right? So are you able to get things done a fourth year student are able to do it? Or are you able to get things done that somebody with a 2 to 3 years experience in industry able to do it, right? Because if you're starting a company, remember like if you're a CEO of a company, that means you are operating at like somebody at a very senior position in a big company level, right? So first step is focus on those foundations and learning, right? If
Yeah,
you are you want to do something in your domain, and then look for the pain points and validate the pain points. Don't just give in the mind. Talk to the customers, right? Are they willing to pay for a solution like that? And just
correct.
find one or two niche customer and build a solution for them and see if they're paying for you or not. Yeah, that's the
Right.
main thing. And once you're able to nail that, scaling is like a more like a known problem to solve.
Okay. Super. I guess, Arup, you wanted to add or
Yeah, maybe, yeah, just like to add something is,
yeah,
yeah, maybe if people from second year, third year, or fourth year, yeah, uh, I will say that first you try to gather some experience, okay, because that actually helps. You need to understand the industry. It is not just about creating something theoretical, okay. So try to understand. And if you look at it, the Subrato and Obro, they actually coming either from their background, family background, or some of the experience which they have gathered from industry. So don't do things in hurry. I mean, when you are saying that, okay, yeah, fail fast does
yeah,
not mean that you have to just start
fail
right
early.
away without even thinking. Start early,
Yeah,
okay? So don't do that. Okay, so I will say that keep these ideas, work on these ideas,
yeah,
continue it as a hobby project. Try to see how in industry is shaping up in next three,
stepping up.
4 years. Okay,
Sure.
so and try to see if you can adapt to those things or if your idea become obsolete, right?
Yeah,
So and by that time, if you have already gathered some experience, related experience, which
sure.
actually will really help you to
Right.
bootstrap.
Sure, absolutely. And I guess we have it is great to see a lot of this interest coming out, from the students, right? Because that culture, uh, I guess that passion is very interesting to see. And I guess this entrepreneurship seek or the special interest group is exactly created for, to bring all of you together, right? Today, Arup, Shubroto, and Obro, we could bring all of you together, and all of you now know each other, and then everybody knows you, right? And with Arup's offer of, mentorship and other programs, we are elated by the fact that, we'll try to create that kind of a network mentorship. So our idea is to get there, that we have a mentorship column, we have this, the resources column, so that we can move forward. We are almost time, I guess we have hit the time, and thank you everybody for joining today. And special thank you to Arup, Shubroto, and Obro, right? Accepting and coming out and helping to, share your knowledge. Amazing stories. We want to continue this session with more such entrepreneurs coming our way. And stay tuned. And thanks a lot for everybody joining. Thank you. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Sanjay.
you,